Please press bell icon to subscribe to my channel Seema Gautam for more videos. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn non-aligned movement, another ICIC history chapter. Non-aligned movement, which is called NAM as well. After the Second World War, the world was divided into two blocks, the capitalist bloc led by the USA and the socialist bloc led by the USSR. Many Asian and African nations who had become independent after the Second World War refused to join either of the blocs and followed the policy of non-alignment. Here we'll go ahead with the meaning of the non-alignment. So non-alignment was an international policy in which many Asian and African nations refused to align themselves with any of the blocs. These countries aimed of promoting international peace, harmony and cooperation. Here we'll go ahead with the features. I'll discuss some of the features of NAM. They're not to join any powerful military bloc, opposed to any kind of military alliances such as NATO, CETO, Warsaw Pact. Third, the freedom to take independent decisions related to countries' foreign policy. The fourth one, to participate in the world affairs. And the last, to judge issues on merit. Now we'll move further and discuss about the factors leading to the rise of non-aligned movement. So factors responsible for the development of NAM: global tensions caused by the Cold War, that many newly emerged independent Asians and African nations did not want to join any of the power blocs as they realized it would hamper world peace. Next, struggle against imperialism and new colonization. Asian and African nations became the independent after long years of a struggle against the colonial power. They did not want the Western and European nations to dominate their foreign policy after they became a part of any bloc. Independent foreign policy, another factor. The non-aligned member discarded the idea of any outside interference in their domestic and international affairs. The fourth one, moderation. The newly independent nations of Asia and Africa wanted to promote peace and goodwill among them and to work for increasing mutual interest by establishing friendly relations with all the countries. We'll move further and discuss about the another factor, that is restructuring international economic order. Most of the Asian and African countries were economically backward. They needed capital and technological knew how improve their economic condition. Thus, they wanted to keep themselves off from every political alliance and pursue the policy of NAM, that's non-aligned movement. Last one, the formation of the capital force. The Asian and African nations realized that they need to form a collective force, being common victim of economic exploitation and political dominations by European countries, that they had a sense of affinity which led them to cooperate with each other. Here we'll move further and discuss about the evolution of NAM. At the New Delhi Conference held in March 1947, Jawaharlal Nehru highlighted upon the dangers posed by the hostility between the two power blocs and stressed upon the need for the Asian countries to work for maintaining world peace. Next, another summit was held in 1949 at New Delhi. The conference was attended by 19 countries who asked the immediate withdrawal of Dutch troops from Indonesia. In 1954, India and China signed agreement which contained the Panchsheel, or 5 principles of peace coexistence. These principles later became the guidelines of NAM. These were non-interference in each other's internal affairs, mutual non-aggression, equality for mutual benefit, mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, peaceful coexistence. So the next important step in the formation of NAM was taken at Bandung Conference in the Indonesia in 1955. It was attended by the 29 countries. Some of these countries were Indonesia, Turkey, China, and the Philippines. The conference was presided over the Jawaharlal Nehru from India, Zhou Enlai from China, and G.A. Nasser from Egypt. The conference paved the way for the formation of NAM. Now we will learn about the first NAM summit. So the first NAM summit of NAM took place in September 1961 at Belgrade in Yugoslavia. It was attended by 25 countries. Cyprus was the only European country which attended the session. The conference was presided by the Prime Minister Nehru of India, known as the founding fathers of NAM. Various issues related to the world peace were discussed in the first summit. They discussed the German blockade, issues of China's representations in the UN, and the issues of apartheid in South Africa. Imperialism was declared as the threat to world peace. After the first NAM summit, we'll discuss the objectives of NAM. So, first, not to join any power bloc or any military alliances to eliminate all those causes which may lead to a war. Third, to oppose colonialism, imperialism, and racial discrimination. To encourage countries to maintain friendly relations with each other. To stress on peaceful settlement of international dispute. Next, to oppose the use of nuclear weapons in war. To work towards strengthening UNO, to protect human rights and to protect the environment. Last, to build a new international economic order based on equality, equity, and justice. We'll move further and discuss the role of Jawaharlal Nehru in non-aligned movement. India was the first country which initiated the non-aligned policy under the leadership of Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru realized that one of the greatest dangers of India and other newly independent countries lie in joining any of the two power blocs. He advocated all the countries to stay away from the power blocs. Nehru, with his leadership skills and far-sightedness, convinced the Asian and African nations to initiate a movement against the division of the world into two powerful blocs. He, along with the Tito of Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Ho Chi Minh of Vietnam, and the Kwame Nkrumah of the Ghana, participated in the Bandung Conference, where NAM was given a final shape. Nehru is considered the greatest spokesman for neutrality of Asian and African states in the era of Cold War. Nehru opposed to formation of military alliances as these were likely to produce race for armaments. Next, Nehru rejected the communist states as monolithic and he described Marxist as an outdated philosophy. He did not favor capitalism and was tilted towards socialism. Last one, India played an important role in NAM and world affairs during the Cold War. It supported many countries in the efforts to attain independence. After discussing the role of Jawaharlal Nehru in NAM, now we will learn the achievements of NAM. The first one, NAM helped reduce tensions between two power blocs and played an important role in bringing the Cold War to an end. It opposed to the race of armaments which existed among various countries during the Cold War. Third, it supported and promoted international peace, justice, and freedom. The fourth one and the last, it advocated a new international economic order which was based on greater economic cooperation and justice. After discussing a lot about the NAM, now we'll move further and discuss the future of NAM. Although NAM lost its importance after the end of the Cold War in 1991, it still stands for securing international peace and security. However, NAM could not take substantial measures when Afghanistan was invaded by Russia in 1979 or when Iraq was invaded by US-led coalition forces. With the emergence of the neo-colonialism, use of economic, political, cultural, or other pressure to the influence former colonies, many newly independent nations were unable to take concrete decisions in the economic fields because of the pressure exerted by the powerful nations and organizations such as the World Bank, WTO, and IMF. Under such circumstances, NAM came forward to help these countries in trying to assert their economic rights. USA has emerged as a powerful nation. NAM has immense potentialities and experiences to prevent the dominations of the USA over countries such as Iraq and Afghanistan. Thus, NAM remained the important and powerful forces which aims at achieving international peace, disarmament, and economic development. Thank you. Please share, like, and subscribe my channel.